there was a sticker, a bumper sticker, and it said "Gag a Valley Girl."
Oh, Jesus, God in heaven.
Oh, okay. Hello. My parents let me buy it. And no, it gets
Patty, what were you thinking?
It gets worse. I slapped it on the back of our little silver Honda Accord hatchback. And I was even driving at the time. So they're driving
Oh my God.
with this bumper sticker. And then someone, and I can't believe my stepdad didn't clue in, but because my mom was kind of like, doo-hoo. But
did she get it? Did she like figure it out?
no.
Okay, I was like,
somebody mentioned it to her.
My God.
And then they're like, she's like, we're taking this off.
Were you like grounded for life?
No. I mean, I really spent my whole sophomore year of high school grounded, but not for that. That was before my days of grounded. Welcome to Drinks with the Girls. Conversations for women over 40 around connection, change, and the power of female friendship. Living well with stories to tell. I'm Karen, and this is Lisa.
We are moms and solopreneurs stepping into our own, diving into real conversations about things that matter to women in midlife.
We're here to spill the tea on everything that affects women in their 40s and beyond. Topics like loss and grief, changing relationships, launching kids, menopause, and reinventing ourselves in midlife. We are here to tackle it all.
Connect with us through a blend of our lived experiences, our friendship, the memory of our moms, plus a collection of real stories, honest conversations, and engaging interviews that will make women over 40 feel seen and remind them that they're not alone on this journey called life. Let's go. Now, your kids are obviously a lot older than mine. But have they rediscovered the 80s? Because my daughter, every once in a while, and my son will come, oh, do you know that song, Mom? Listen to this song. It's really cool. And I want to be like, excuse me, that's my era. You don't get to take my era and tell me what was cool from my era.
Yeah. No, you know what was the best thing for that was Glee.
Oh, so I know.
My daughter was upset. We watched Glee, and it was, I probably was, quote unquote, a bad mom at the time for letting my young daughter watch Glee, but that's how she knows so many 80s songs. And even now I'll be like, how do you know that? And she'll be like, Glee, Mom.
Glee.
But, and they just know him from me, too, like playing him, because I would play music and dance in the kitchen while I cooked dinner. And it was always 80s. So they just know the songs from hearing them.
Yeah, it's really funny. Every once in a while, like my son took a history of rock and roll class. Oh my God, the 80s are history. Oh my God. Speaking of which, tangent. Do you know, I saw this meme the other day. Oh my God, that said the 80s are closer to Pearl Harbor than they are to modern day. I'm like, shut up with this right now. Just stop. Stop.
That's tragic.
I can't. No. At any rate, so he's took this history of rock and roll class. And my son loves to sing. And every once in a while, he'd just bust out with this song. I'm like, how do you know that song? Right? Like So, I mean, good music.
It's awesome. I love it.
There was very rarely like crap music in the 80s. And I feel like even the music that was crap, I'm talking to you, Milli Vanilli, had this like cult thing around it, right? Like even when it was really, really bad, right? And the one hit wonder was still a thing, right? Like who doesn't love some like Mickey by Tony Basil?
Men Without Hats.
Men Without Hats. Oh my God, Safety Dance. And my son loves that song too.
Oh, it's so good. Classic. What about, I remember driving to dinner with my mom and my stepdad, and I'm sure my brother and sister were in the back, listening to Erotic City by Prince.
Yep.
And I'm singing every word. And when that song is over, yes, my parents are like, and I think I'm like 15 at the time. My parents are like, what the hell?
And you're listening to what?
Right. Oh my God.
Yeah, Prince.
But I was like, I'm just singing it. I'm belting it out. I'm like, I'm not even like thinking, oh yeah, this probably your mom's really not going to want to hear these words fly out of your mouth.
Yeah. Too late. Oops. I actually remember I have this might be, again, hashtag story for another podcast. I have this weird thing about running into famous people in like really strange places. I don't know what that says about me in addition to my trivia, but I was at a club on Sunset Boulevard. Now, okay, that sounds really glamorous. I never went to clubs on Sunset Boulevard. Like, this is like such a one-off, right? And I was like much later on. And I remember Prince walked in. And my girl, I swear to God, my girlfriend's like, that's Prince. I'm like, no, it's not. He's like shorter than me because I'm not tall. And she's like, yeah, it is. And I was like, holy crap, that's Prince. And he just strode right on in there. And I'm like,
that's the coolest.
Right?
I mean, if you're going to see a celebrity, that's one to see. Woof.
And we were very fortunate at my high school. We had this amazing activities director. And I swear to God, I don't know like who he was paying off to get some of these people to come and play. But I swear to God, I'm not exaggerating. Shout out to all my Palos Verdes High School buddies. While there, literally, we're talking dance in the gym. Okay. Like literally Oingo Boingo. The Bangles.
Fun.
The Go-Go's.
Stop.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. And I'm trying to remember, there was one other band and I remember people would be like, how are you getting these bands? And granted, they weren't like selling out stadiums at the time, but this is like Go-Go's when they came out with We Got the Beat. Like we're not talking, right? And it was like, how is this guy getting these bands to come to this high school? Like, what the heck, right? What was the first concert you ever went to?
I went to Spandau Ballet. My favorite. I took my girlfriend, Janelle. Shout out, Janelle, if you're listening. My mom took us because she would not let us go by ourselves.
That's awesome.
And I think we were 15. And my mom in her rabbit fur coat. I remember she was wearing her rabbit fur coat and took us to Spandau Ballet. That True song, True. And people will in fact, one of my high school girlfriends just texted me like a week ago. No, it was over the weekend. She was driving somewhere and that song came on and she's like, oh, I'm thinking of you. It was just like, yeah. How about you? What was your first concert?
Wait, before we move on to that, I just have to give a shout out to Martin and Gary Kemp, the twins, especially Martin Kemp, the bass player, I believe he was, who was hotter than all freaking get out. Okay, sorry, I forgot what the question was. I'm literally like so blinded by my lust right now. My name is Lisa Corachella McDowell, and I'm not just a healthy smoothie girl. Check out nextlevellifewithlisa.com, my website and centerpiece for all that I do. Connect with me about my free classes, the fabulous health and wellness products I have, literacy work, special education advocacy, and social media. I try to live my truth and put it all out there authentically. And for a special offer, go to nextlevellifewithlisa.com/podcast tribe for some exclusive goodies for my Drinks with the Girls listeners. See you there.
Your first concert.
Yes. Okay. So my dad took me and I went with so I think we've talked in the show about the fact that our parents had this whole like gang that they hung out with at University of Redlands. So you probably know this person if I said him, no longer with us, unfortunately, but we went with him and he and my dad were good friends and his daughter, and I was friends with his daughter. And we went to see Pat Benatar at the Los Angeles Forum and my dad nearly died. I think I was like 12, 13. It was on her Yes, on her
That's a killer first concert,
right? Right? Yes,
I just barely saw her a few years ago for the first time.
I know, and she's amazing, right? So it was the Get Nervous tour, and like I remember she was doing Hell Is for Children. I looked over at my dad, who was just miserable, and he's like, "It's not even music." I'm like, "Come on, Dad! Like she's talking about like real meaningful things." And like that's the big joke with us now is like he's like, "Oh my God, how did you get me to go to that concert? Like, are you freaking kidding me with this?" Right?
Yes. How did you get him to take his 12-year-old to a Pat Benatar?
I don't think he knew what he was getting into. And like, you know, he worked so much and this was like a big deal. And like his friend was going to go. So I think he was like, oh, let's, you know.
Yeah.
Interesting, like, segue. So you speak about Spandau Ballet, true. And my brain went to the fact that my beloved Backstreet Boys, that's a whole other thing we'll have to get into at some point. But my beloved Backstreet Boys did on their first album, they did a cover of another
No
80s
way.
tune,
Oh,
but
you're gonna say True.
No, but in there is a sample from True, and they go off on it. And the reason I thought of this, I'm not completely losing my mind, is that my daughter's first concert, oh yeah, Backstreet Boys. I took her to the Backstreet Boys. And then we had so much fun. We went when they were in Portland, and I splurged because I thought I was going to have a really good year and got second row seats. And oh my God, it was so much fun.
Yeah, once you have good seats, I mean, I don't know that I've ever been second row, except at like festivals when you like push your way up to the front. Yeah. Once you have good seats, you're like, okay, I'm not going back.
Yeah. But I got to tell you, concerts now are
ridiculous.
Ridiculously expensive. Like ridiculous.
Dumb.
My son loves Green Day, and I'm like, I'm there for that. The cheapest ticket I could find was like $300 a ticket. And like, again, long story, another podcast, my son has sensory issues. And I'm like, the chances of him making through that whole concert are probably very little. And he's pretty good about it now. He's like, I don't know if I'd be able to stay. And I'm like, you know what? This is like ridiculous. I remember when you could get like a concert ticket for like $25. Like that was a big spend, Yeah. But I think, I mean, that's a whole other podcast episode.
Okay, speaking of first concerts, something I'm a little salty about. So,
oh dear, here we go.
When I was in middle school, like my parents, so I didn't go to my first concert till I was 15. The US Festival was in my town. Do you remember the US Festival?
This is ringing kind of sort of a bell.
It was like it was like a 3-day, or maybe it was 2 days, 2 or 3 day event. I remember Van Halen was there. I don't even remember who else was there. But my stepdad even worked at the festival. And you think he would take me?
Oh, that mean man.
I'm so mean. So bad. Bad parenting.
Bad. Super bad.
I'm salty.
Yeah. I have a few of those memories as well. Yeah. Because we were big Dodger fans. My parents would always take me. And I remember, this is the 80s when the Dodgers won the World Series. And I was back at college, but I remember I was home for the summer when Kirk Gibson hit that crazy home run. But oh no, we were at the game, but were we there for that? Oh no, because my dad had to beat the traffic.
Yeah. Oh man, that's something I would do.
I have never forgiven him for that one.
Oh man,
like, are you kidding me?
I have to say, Dodger Stadium. I mean, go blue, but Dodger Stadium is a freaking. That is not the easiest place to get in, get out. I mean,
yeah. It's kind of.
I feel his pain.
Yeah, it's one of those like Angelino, if you know, kind of things. So
I feel like, Southern California people, you're feeling Kenny's
no, and I get it, but really, like, good God. I just realized that we didn't talk about what we were drinking because we were having so much fun talking about the 80s. So I'm boring. Right? I'm drinking the healthy fizz stick mind health like combination, and Karen's like rolling her eyes at me right now. But I feel like I need to get props for the water bottle, and you cannot see my beloved viewers, but Karen can. And it's a picture of Wonder Woman riding a unicorn. So while I am not being very original about my beverage, I do feel like I get Drinks with the Girls cred for my awesome water bottle sticker. Because to me, Wonder Woman riding on a unicorn is like what epic. I aspire to have and to be in my life every day.
Yes, you are winning with beverage container for sure. My beverage is gone, but what I was drinking was...
It's the 80s.
And I can't remember. It was a peach something hard kombucha.
Oh, you've had that before.
That's my go-to evening drink.
Yeah. We may need to put that in the show notes because I've heard you say that a couple of times.
My daughter turned me on to them, and I just I like them.
Okay, well, that might have to be put in a show notes.
It makes me a little sad that my memory is shite because I can't remember so many things.
But that's okay because you have me to remember all the trivial bullshit for you, so it's fine.
Well, and I have the feelings. Like I remember the feelings of the 80s, and there's nothing like that. That's for damn sure.
Oh my God, I almost forgot one. What about Valley Girl? With Nicolas Cage.
Oh, with Nick Cage. Yeah. Oh my God. That I remember watching that and feeling so weird. Like, am I in the valley? Like, am I a valley girl?
Yeah. And is
Where's
that
the
like
valley?
a good thing? Like,
Exactly.
should I be going to the mall more? Like, if I do, will I meet Nicolas Cage? Is he like acceptable as a boyfriend? Like, these are the things that we thought about, right? That was like deep kind of, I.
Well, let me tell you a story that's not deep. So we were on vacation and it was right after Valley Girl had come out. I think we were at Balboa Island actually having a summer vacay. There was a sticker, a bumper sticker, and it said "Gag a Valley Girl."
Oh, Jesus, God in heaven.
Oh, okay. Hello. My parents let me buy it. And no, it gets
Patty, what were you thinking?
It gets worse. I slapped it on the back of our little silver Honda Accord hatchback. and I was even driving at the time. So they're driving.
Oh my God.
With this bumper sticker. And then someone, and I can't believe my stepdad didn't clue in, but because my mom was kind of like, woohoo. But
did she get it? Did she like figure it out?
No.
Okay. I was like,
somebody mentioned it to her.
My God.
And then they're like, she's like, we're taking this off.
Were you like grounded for life?
No. I mean, I really spent my whole sophomore year of high school grounded, but for that was before my days of being grounded.
Oh, okay. Now you're going to have to spill that story. Nobody says they were grounded for their entire sophomore year. God. Come on. Because see, I didn't do crap in high school. I was like a good little girl. And so I have to live vicariously through you. So tell us, Karen, how did you get grounded for your sophomore year?
Well, let's see. And my mom loved to like stack grounding. So it'd be like, you're grounded for a week. Oh, you're grounded for 2 weeks. Oh, you're grounded for 3 weeks. Because I would just keep screwing up. I mean, you name it. Ditching, going to parties during lunch.
Parties at lunch? Oh my God.
5th period, I had typing class.
Yeah.
Kids, you know what a typewriter is? But so I had typing 5th period and we'd go to a party at lunch and I'd come back.
Wait a minute. Hold the phone. Stop. You guys had parties where you were drinking at lunch? Damn. Yeah.
Somebody's house. Somebody would just open their house up and and then
my God.
So I'd go to typing drunk. Not drunk. I can't even say drunk, but after having drank or drunk a beer or two. But yeah, and then, I'd sneak out. I got in trouble for that. I would tell my mom, oh, I'm spending the night at Krista's house. And no. Yeah.
See, this is how pathetic. Okay. This is the pathetic comparison. Okay. Like, I wanted so bad for a reason to sneak out that I practiced sneaking out of my window. Like, I can remember times when I snuck in and my parents are like, what the hell are you doing? Just use the front door. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, how sad is that? Now, I will say this. At my high school, it was a beautiful campus. It was like right on the cliffs of Southern California. And so what happened? Everybody didn't get drunk and go to parties. They went and surfed and got high. I, of course, I mean, I didn't even drink until I was 21. Like when I tell you, by the time I got through college, my senior year, my brother, I went to school back east. Y'all know that, Massachusetts. My brother went to Boston College his freshman year. And my parents would literally call me and be like, stop studying. Go do something. Right. Go have fun. And then they'd call my brother and be like, are you studying? Like you're having too much fun, But yeah, I was a late bloomer. So this is all very exciting to me because it never would have occurred to me to sneak out to someone's house and have a lunchtime party.
Yeah, I was not a good, I was a good kid. I got good grades. No, I take that back.
But she can't remember any of the details, folks.
It depends on the subject and the grade. But no, my sophomore year was pretty much a shit show. But I had a party, but I wouldn't let anybody in my house. So we had a party in the front yard, which was
I was like, how does that work? Okay.
Yeah. My mom was chaperoning because she was a high school teacher. So she was chaperoning her high school prom. So I'm like, sweet, they'll be gone till like midnight, whatever.
Oh my God.
Let's have a party, but you can't come in the house. So everybody's in the front yard. I mean, what? My neighbors aren't going to tell my mom? Duh. Yep. And I left all the evidence everywhere. Bottle caps, and I was drunk when they got home.
I'm like, that's a problem.
They're giving me the lecture and I had to go take a time out to barf.
It's like, I know you need to yell at me, but hold that thought.
It was bad.
Yeah, my brother did one. See, again, not me, right? And I remember because we had family friends that lived like right across the street, right? Like, and my brother's all Mr. Cool, right? And they come over and they're like, yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be doing this. And my brother's like, but I have football players guarding the liquor in the china cabinet. Everything's under control.
Oh boy.
Yeah. I wish I'd done more in high school. I was kind of like, definitely. It was weird because I was a wallflower, but like I got into drama and, you know, I rode horses. And so I had like this, and I know you rode too, but it was just weird, like where my confidence was directed. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've been to one high school reunion ages ago. Have you been to any high school like, do you keep in touch with high school friends?
I mean, honestly, I did not until, gosh, I don't know how many years ago. One of my friends had like a party. And at the time, my fiance, who I'm with now, he and I went to high school together. We got reconnected.
I didn't know that. That's so cool.
Yeah, no, it's a fun story. And he lived out there where she was. And so she just had all these high school people over. And so I got reconnected. And then, of course, with Facebook and social media and stuff, I just, you know, remained connected. And yeah, and it was fun because high school was not my favorite time at all. Like I couldn't get out of there fast enough.
Yeah.
But to reconnect with some of these, you know, great people has been really good.
That is so cool. Yeah. There's one couple in particular I'm thinking of that got together in my high school that were pretty beloved. And this is a second marriage. I didn't know that. That's such a cool story. So we need to do our traditional rapid fire at the end of the episode. And we have full disclosure to y'all. We looked at our episode list and just the things we had done, the things we were planning for you. And we were like, oh my God, we are so depressing. Like divorce, menopause, death. And it was like, really? Like, I wouldn't want to listen to me, right? So we like challenged ourselves. We were like, okay, we got to write like 10. We have to write 10 titles of episodes down that we think are fun. And the 80s was one of them. And this episode is just like, we didn't write this. Like, we usually just kind of talk in general about what we're going to say in our episodes. And this one has been like, just like us chatting. So typically we'll plan our rapid fire questions and our things to take away at the end of the episode. But I can always tell when it's time to like start winding it down because Karen has this really weird phenomenon in her office. And we start out and it's like lit. And by the end of the episode, she's like Blair Witch Project dark.
It's because I don't turn my lights on. And so, it's natural lighting in here.
It cracks me up because I'm always like, oh, okay, time to wrap it up. Let's get to the end of the episode. So rapid fire questions. I kind of asked you a bunch at the beginnings. I feel like I'm owed some like rapid fire.
The song that was playing during your first kiss. Was your first kiss in the 80s?
Bad. Yeah. I'm like 10 days ago. No, I'm kidding. I feel like this is so cerebral. I feel like I dared the neighbor boy to kiss me. I live next to 4 boys. And I believe the challenge was I was such an idiot too, because I was like, whoever gets this right has to kiss the other one. So I'm sure he was like, whatever, I'm just going to say whatever it is, right? And we were listening to like this rock countdown. I'm like, it's going to be Stairway to Heaven. He's like, no, it won't be. So now looking back, I'm like, Lisa, you're such an idiot. Like he probably like flubbed it on purpose. So I don't know if that really counts or anything, but
it all counts.
Okay.
What was your biggest worry?
Oh God.
Like when you were in I mean, this isn't really an 80s question. And sorry, I'm taking it down the deep level.
I was like, this is supposed to be fun. She's gone to a Blair Witch Project now. And like, it's like deep thoughts.
Let me think. Something fun.
She's a life coach, people. Like she's trained to like get the deep stuff out of you. So this is like stretch goal for her.
What was your favorite thing about the 80s and your least favorite thing about the 80s?
So my favorite thing about the 80s, the music for sure. Like, I feel like that was such a difficult time in my life. I mean, it was high school and college. Like, all the things. But I feel like the one constant that gave me joy during that time, like consistently through that decade, was the music. And I'm sure my children would have something to say about this. But again, like I said, I mean, your Milli Vanillis aside, your I guess CNC Music Factory doesn't count. I think they were 90s. But at any rate, there weren't a lot of bad songs in the 80s. Like the worst it got was like Electric Avenue overplayed like a million times, right?
Yes.
The worst thing about the 80s.
And by the way, can we just shout out Howard Jones right now? We can't.
Oh my God, I love him. Thank you. Although I will say that my brother got obsessed with him, and like there was like a straight 2 years where all I heard was Howard Jones and Pink Floyd. And to this day, I'm still a little like, oh God, Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Howard Jones for sure.
And the Psychedelic Furs.
Oh, because Pretty in Pink.
Right. Exactly.
And The Ghost in You. Mm-hmm. Love it. Mm-hmm. And The Cure.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Although my husband and I have arguments about that. My husband had the ultimate 80s haircut. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, I have to tell this story. I know this is off topic, but it's because I have none of my own. Like, I dared to do X stories. Like, I have to co-opt other people's. And unfortunately, folks, remember, this is pre-social media. So no photographic evidence exists. I'm sorry to say, because I've tried. He got this like a flock of seagulls-esque haircut. Yeah. And the way he described it, right? I don't know if y'all remember, but it was like this giant V in the front, right? And like long in the back, but very like gelled up high and like boop, right in the middle, right? And the back was shaved the way he describes it. And that he just thought he was the coolest thing ever. And I go, I sense an ending to this that isn't very good. He goes, yeah. He goes, I was waiting tables and he said, this girl I work with goes, your haircut looks like a giant vagina.
Oh, shit.
Oops. And he's like, yeah, I had to figure out like how to style it differently, like really close, right? So the hairstyles too. So the original question was what I didn't like about the 80s. You know, and it's so hard because I feel like that's inseparable from how miserable I was about myself as a person. Yeah. So I don't necessarily think that was the 80s fault. You know, I feel like that was like me trying to kind of fit in and yeah. So
those years in general are just tough.
It is. Yeah, it is.
My name is Karen Shatafian, and I am a shameless coffee addict and empowerment coach for women, and my love language is authenticity. My mission is helping women in midlife unapologetically design a life they're in love with. My website, KarenShatafian.com, has all my coaching packages and juicy things I have coming up, like my in-person retreat called Exhale in October 2024. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram talking about ways women can show up for themselves after decades of showing up for everyone else. Join me as we throw off the shackles and live our best freaking lives.
Okay. What was your favorite thing about the 80s?
My favorite thing about the 80s, I mean, like you said, it has to be the music. And I mean, it was just such a different time. Like, yeah, your parents didn't really care. My parents didn't care where I was.
No, they cared. They cared, but they didn't have to worry. Like that was the other piece. I think that was a big thing. Don't you? I mean,
yeah.
I just feel like there was, I mean, this is really like before AIDS got going. This was before like, right? Like that there were like life-changing consequences for going out there and getting too drunk kind of thing. I mean, like, yeah, you could have drunk drive but I just didn't feel like the level of like what could possibly go wrong, right? I just didn't feel like that was there. And I would imagine, I mean, again, your kids are older than mine. Mine are just getting to be teenagers, that the level of concern as a mom now, as in what could happen, I don't know. I'm just guessing.
But it's funny because it's the same things. Like it's literally the same things. And yeah, not that my mom didn't care. She definitely cared. I mean, like she definitely cared. Like when she first learned I was having sex, like that whole conversation, woo. But I just think, it was just such a different time. It just felt more carefree. I don't know. And maybe because now I'm looking at like my kids' experience when they were growing up through the mom lens, right? But it's like at the time, you just didn't feel like, you're like, it's fine. Everything's going to be fine. It's all going to work out.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then there was also the teen angst, like high school, you couldn't pay me to go back there.
No.
Just that the way I felt about myself and life and everything. It's like, no.
Well, and to kind of take it back to what we talked about at the start of the episode with like the Brat Pack, I also think that's a big reason why that caught on, because whether or not it was like angsty Molly Ringwald or whatever, it was still an idealized version of what you wanted your own experience to be, right? Like, even if you could identify,
you want Jake Ryan in the end.
Hello, right? And like, who didn't want like Annie Potts as like a best older friend, right?
Like a mentor, yes.
Right. And conversely, I'm sure, what was her name? Dang it. The hot chick that they create in Weird Science, Kelly. Okay, see, this is how my mind works. I know who she was married to, the actor she was married to, but I can't remember her name. Like, what?
I want to say Kelly Preston, but that's not
yes. Right. No. Not John Travolta, Kelly Preston. It was, God, I can totally see her. Again, listeners, help us. She was married to Steven Seagal. Kelly LeBrock.
Yes, Kelly LeBrock.
Again, pub trivia. Like, I'm sure like any self-respecting teenage boy in the 80s would have like loved to have Kelly LeBrock as their girlfriend. But I do think that it was definitely, I don't want to give too much away because I feel like this is a bunch of stuff that they talk about in that in Andrew McCarthy's documentary. So I'll be interested. Everybody reach out and tell me your thoughts after you've watched it. By the time this podcast comes out, it'll probably have been out for a bit, but I'm curious to see what people think of it, because I thought he did a really good job in talking about just kind of how it permeated the zeitgeist of the culture and kind of trying to understand that, right? Yeah, I'll just leave it at that because I
can't wait to watch
the
it.
Experience. Yeah, I was thinking I need to rewatch like St. Elmo's Fire. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So my daughter, long story long, both my kids get neurofeedback. We'll talk about that at some time in another podcast. And one of the things with neurofeedback is they go in and they watch videos and there's a frequency with, these things attached to their brain, like, okay, I can't talk, to their scalp. And then they're pumping in these different like feedback loops. At any rate, they get to pick what they want to watch. And it's been so interesting to me for her to tell me what she's watching. So yeah, a few weeks ago, she's like, Mom, we're watching The Breakfast Club. And inside I'm like, oh yeah. That's my girl. And I'm like, what do you think about that? She's like, I really liked it. It's so good. And I was like, that is so interesting to me that a movie that is so quintessentially the 80s rings true to a 14-year-old in 2024. So what that tells me is those themes are ageless, right? And what that, in what world now would a bunch of like misfits be caught in Saturday detention and run around the school, right? Like the cops would be there in 5 seconds. They would think they were planning like a bomb threat or something like that. Like there's no reality insertion in this day and age, but yet she was like, she loved it,
Yeah. They probably don't even have Saturday school anymore.
Yeah, it's probably illegal.
Right.
So I think we're going to wrap up. Thanks for taking this trip with us to the 80s. It's such a fun place. Maybe we'll go visit again. I don't know. But we would love.
Yeah, we will.
Yep. Obviously, like, subscribe, share. But we would love, as your takeaway, for you guys to put in the comments what your favorite memories were of the 80s. Have you seen the Bratz movie documentary? What do you think of it? Help us with our memory lapses. Any last thoughts, Karen, that you'd like to share?
No, I just would love to hear what other people, like if anything that we've talked about, like sparked any memories for you and what your favorite part of the 80s was. And if you have feelings like we do, like we love the music, we love so many parts about it, but it was also such, a difficult time just growing up and figuring out who we were and how we fit into the world. So yeah, just let us know. We want to hear from you. Cheers.